All right, everyone. Good morning. It's Mike again with Hills and Hollers Homestead, and we are less than 20, or well, actually a little bit over 24 hours before these chickens get processed. Any feed that they have right now is just leftover from last night. I fed them 3 times yesterday. Typically go 24 hours without giving them feed before we do the processing. But again, this is just leftover from where I fed them the 3 times yesterday. I did come out and I moved them on fresh grass this morning. I'll come out about noon on my lunch, move them again, and then move them again at about 6 o'clock this evening to put them on fresh grass. Now they will eat grass and peck and scratch a little bit. In the meantime, that's fine. That's not as much of a burden on their gut as the conventional feed is prior to processing, because once you start processing these birds, you don't want them to have a full digestive system and a full butt, because they typically stay that way anyways. So good size, especially one like that. Looks like a walking bowling ball. I'm guessing of course we will have some smaller, but I'm thinking we're probably going to end up with an average of about 6 pounds or over. And I will sort through the ones tomorrow that we're going to keep, namely like the hens. Like there's one right there, there's one right there. So we'll keep the hens, and I may pick 1 or 2 of the really good looking roosters and hold them back for breeding as well. Now this morning when I came out here, of course I refreshed the oregano bag in their water, so you can see it's got a nice little green tint to it. So it's a pretty full cotton bag full of oregano. That way they get that good infusion of oregano in their system to help kind of purge anything out and kind of give them that cleanse that they actually need. So and we keep oregano in the water as well in those little cotton bags. So not a bad looking bunch of chickens at all. 8 weeks, and like I said, I think we're going to probably end up with about 6.5 pounds. Of course, there are going to be some that's going to come in a little lower, and that is just typical for the breed. Now yesterday, the water tote, I had to refill it. So 4 weeks on pasture, because these guys stayed in the brooder for about 4 weeks just due to weather. 4 weeks on pasture, about 550 gallons of water. And of course, you kind of add in and consider waste amount for like blowing the water out of the hose, for gravity feed and stuff like that, and just a little overflow while I'm doing something else out here. So about 550 gallons over 4 weeks, and that is on pasture. So that's a pretty decent amount to kind of plan ahead for if you're going to pasture your chickens. If you're going to have them out on pasture for 6 weeks, you probably want to add another 200 gallons to that just to be on the safe side if you have to tote your water source out to your pasture. Now this afternoon after work, we'll get everything set up, get the kill station set up, the scalder, the plucker, the tents, the tables, the sinks, and everything like that. I've got pretty much everything set out. I just got to mow the grass, which is surprisingly as dry as it is. I mean, look, we're heavily clouded today. A lot of smoke from the Canadian wildfires and stuff. My eyes have definitely been telling me that. And so we'll get everything set up this evening and have it ready to go in the morning. I'm going to start early. It'll take about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get the water up to temp for scalding. Everything else is just pretty much set in place and just kind of make sure it's all there. We'll have to do an ice run in the morning. Probably going to need about 200 pounds of ice to start, maybe even a little bit more. So we'll go with that, and that way we've got a good ice bath, and everything for them to lay in after the process. We'll go through a series of washings and cleanings and dippings, and and they'll ultimately end up on ice for 24 hours or until the next day actually, and then we'll pull them off the ice. We'll put them in shrink wrap bags and get them in the freezer. Now I do have a couple that are starting to go lame. This is one right here, this one right here. And these are the first. I think there's 2 or 3 of them in the whole, between all 3 tractors, that are starting to really go lame, to the point where they're just not wanting to move a whole lot at all. Even moving the tractor forward, I have to go in and pick them up, take them to the front, because they just don't want to move. And when they do move, they tend to go face down. So it's a good thing that tomorrow is processing day, because I don't think these guys would make it another week. And of course that is the nature of the breed, because they just grow so fast. And again, I'm just topping off the water in all the buckets, and like I said, I just moved them onto fresh grass. I'll come out about noon, do it again, and then at 6 o'clock this evening I'll move them on grass, and I'll keep everything in place. I moved all the fence yesterday, got them around the turn from around the tree, got the fence set up for another run, and of course we'll use most of this today by moving them so frequently. But that again keeps them on fresh grass, does allow them to eat and a little bit of fresh grass and everything. So they finish out their conventional food, what little bit they have left, which they're kind of pecking at now. They look pretty satiated because they're not mobbing the feeding trough like they normally do. So I think they'll just kind of peck at it, which there's not enough there between all those chickens to make a difference for tomorrow. And I don't think I could have estimated the amount of feed that I needed for the rest of the 4 weeks that they were out here on pasture if I'd used a calculator. Now, I did use both hands and 1 foot to get the count right, but I definitely did get the estimate right, because that is all we have left of the 1,000 pounds of food that I bought for them for the 4 weeks out here. So, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that I did for the first couple weeks. Because the first couple weeks I had them on 20%. I had them on 20% chick starter, and then I ordered this food and got it. So they've probably been on this about 6 weeks, 5.5, 6 weeks roughly. Anyways, what I figured out, if you go back to the one video where I done a breakdown of the cost of raising these and feeding them, I think I've got it in there, which I'm sure I do. But so pretty good estimation on that. Good estimation on food consumption, and what we would have out at the end time for when we're ready to process them. Hey, I'm doing a video here, do you mind? You don't care. All right, that's it. Gotta get back to the house, get my work day started, and I'll keep you guys posted on this. I'll definitely get a video or two up for tomorrow, show you what's going on. Stay prepared, stay free. God bless y'all.